Okay, so this one had to be a part 2 because my video got cut, like, just as I was getting into what I was talking about, and the vibe was going on there, and the momentum and the flow of the energy and everything. The video cuts out. Like, great. How convenient. But, stuff like that often, I wouldn't say often, but it's happened on numerous occasions, especially with filming and other things too, like when I'm typing something or I'm writing something. I kind of noticed that suddenly, if I'm writing a comment about a video or something that I'm writing to somebody that I'm responding to, and I feel like it's a good comment or it's a good, nice sized paragraph of an explanation for something, then something stupid goes wrong and it ends up, and accidentally getting like deleted or copy and paste bullshit and it disappears, and really annoying and inconvenient stuff like that happens. Like, you're in the flow of the moment and something just screws it up, and I hate that shit. And it's the same thing with some videos that I've made before, where I'm really getting into the momentum and the energy and the flow of everything, and then the fucking video cuts out or something interrupts me. Like, it's really irritating, and I hate when that happens. But they just happen sometimes. And anyway, so this is a part 2, I suppose, for the consistency video that I'm talking about, that I'm working on. And what I wanted to say, like, towards the end of that video, the consistency video, was, when you have consciousness about something in your life, you're shedding light upon that thing that you're starting to kind of notice. So when you're starting to have the consciousness or the awareness of something that you want to fix or change, or the only reason you even have consciousness or awareness about a certain aspect of your life is essentially because there's something wrong with it, and you have that, I guess, innate desire to change it. Like, something's not going the way it should in my life, and I kind of want to change it. I'm starting to notice it. Some things you might notice quicker than some things that you might notice quicker than you do with other things. But the point is, when you have consciousness upon something in your life, that basically means your inner self, your soul, whatever you want to call it, that inner part of your being is finally seeking that change. So it's kind of telling you, it's like a pat on the shoulder, like, hey buddy, listen, listen buddy, it's time to make a change here, because we're kind of dealing with this thing repeatedly, and we're not going nowhere. So it's time to kind of find something new, or it's time to step it up and change the course of this path, or change the course of this direction that we're going in. So anyway, with consistency, yes. So when it comes to your careers and your relationships with people, there should always be consistency. Shouldn't be ups and downs and 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 ups and downs. It's not normal, and it's not healthy for your mental well-being, and it's just not a good thing. It's a stressful thing to be dealing with. Who wants to be constantly arguing and then getting along, and then arguing and then getting along with someone? It's really a toxic relationship, to be honest with you. So you gotta let these people be crazy. If they're gonna be like that for the rest of their life, so be it. But you must remain consistent. And your awareness for certain things will arise. Like, if you notice certain things, like one day you're arguing with them, the following day you're not, the following day you are, the next day you're not again. You're starting to kind of get that awareness and that consciousness. Light is being shed upon that thing of which you want to change. And so that's how you know that you're at least on a good path. And enjoy all the things that you do with your interests, desires, your passions, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is. Even the hardships of it. It's not always going to be a pleasure, but try to see the pleasure and enjoyment out of it anyway. Because that's what's going to help you succeed and continue that path in the long run. You stick with it no matter what. So take that with you as you like. That's what I wanted to do with this video, and You know, the other videos that I have upcoming later on, I'll be covering other things. And so I'm gonna leave you with that. And just remember to stay consistent. Because, you know, when you're consistent and you stick with something that you like to do, or when you're consistent with something, or whatever it is, whatever aspect of it is in your life, you're kind of gonna notice that essentially the more consistent and persistent that you remain with something, you will start to kind of notice that you're starting to like pick up a momentum, right? Because as you pick something up and you get the hang of something, it's always going to be slow at first, or even difficult, frustrating, stressful, not easy. But as you just stick with it, whatever it is, just stick with it, right? Over time, you have this natural thing within you that's kind of improving. Like your movements toward it, the way you're handling it, the way you're doing it, the way you're starting to like perceive it is becoming more natural. Like in other words, it's just becoming a lot easier because you're doing it every day. So repetition is key, right? So repetition is key. You're doing it every day, and now you're starting to see changes. That's where you will see the results. Because oftentimes, another thing too, the reason people fall off and lose that consistency is because they start, to lose interest. And when they lose interest, the reason that they're losing interest is because they're not seeing what they want to see. They're not seeing the results they want to see, because in their mind they already see a certain result that they want. That's what got you into that goal or that interest or career or hobby or whatever in the first place. It's because you see the benefit and the rewards of it. But hate to say it, but the nature of it is, in this experience that we're in, you gotta just work. You just gotta work for these things. These are just things you gotta work for. So the reward is there, but you have to work for it and just stick with it, and you will get there. You don't want to lose your interest, or you'll never reach that goal. It's like if you're running a lap, you're running the mile, you're running a race, or whatever. The finish line's like right here, and you're coming right towards it, but you're getting more and more tired. You don't want to just push yourself a little bit more, so you'd rather just stop. And eventually you never really hit the finish line. You never crossed the finish line because you got tired. You stopped when you could have already gotten there with just a little bit more of a push. But this is just some pep talk mumbo jumbo, and the point is just stay consistent and you will always see results. You're always going to see the results. Just stay consistent, stay persistent, keep your eye on the prize, and just try to enjoy even the hardships and the more straining and difficult aspects of it, because there's a reward in it too. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that, and yeah, peace.